All right, what's up, YouTube? Okay, look, in the video today, we're going to talk about Kovalev jumping ship. Apparently, it's a rumor. We're going to talk about Bob Arum, HBO, what's going on, the latest, the greatest. So I'm just going to kind of get you guys up to date on what's going on. Even the rumor mill, which usually, I don't like to talk about the rumor mill, but we're going to get into that. And the pay-per-view numbers are in, so we'll go over that too. But okay, the rumor. Let me get this out of the way because I don't even like spreading shit like this if I don't have, a way to verify. But it's going around the boxing community, so I thought I'd share it. By the way, watch the video in landscape mode, full screen, whatever. I don't know if you guys know, but I purposely upload them where you can do that. So, okay, Kovalev. Rumor has it that he's going to fire Kathy Duva, John David Jackson, the whole crew. We've all heard the rumors. When Kovalev gets pissed off, he starts firing people, this, that, and the other, and possibly join up with top rank Bob Arum. Now, if he did leave Kathy Duva, who does she have? Maybe a Curtis Stevens? I'm not even sure who the hell she has, to be honest with you. I mean, main events without Kovalev, they tank, they go under. That's it. All they have is Kovalev. So, they're just a small-time little promotion company. They're not a Golden Boy promotion or, even a Rock Nation, which is a big umbrella company. If you guys didn't know that, they're not only a boxing promotional company. Rock Nation, they're big into the music industry, all kinds of shit. So, basically, main event, they need Kovalev. Now, rumor has it that if he goes over to Top Rank and Bob Arum, we know right now Bob Arum, he's working a deal with ESPN. He's basically going to take Manny Pacquiao off of HBO and put him on ESPN. Okay, so now, here's what you guys need to remember. Top Rank Bob Arum, he's already worked with ESPN. Okay, remember, he's got history with them from the 1980s to the 96, 97, somewhere in there. They had the Top Rank Boxing Series, and I remember this. Okay, I remember this in the late 90s. So you guys, you have to realize, before he jumped ship and went to HBO, Bob Arum was all about ESPN. Okay, now HBO, they're basically cutting their boxing budget in half, is what I've heard, less than half. So they no longer have, the big money to throw around to put together, or basically to pay the promoter, and then the promoter can in turn pay the fighters, and we get big fights. And especially if Bob Arum's, taken away a Manny Pacquiao. I mean, could you imagine? Think about this. If Bob Arum, let's say he does go to ESPN, what if he takes Crawford? What if he takes Loma, and Pacquiao? What the hell are they going to do? I mean, yeah, they still have a Canelo, sure, a Golovkin, Ward, and that's about it. I mean, Andre Ward, look, and we're going to get into that too. I guess I can talk about it now. I mean, look, the numbers are in. I'll go ahead and go over them right now. In the original fight, okay, the original Kovalev-Andre Ward fight, it was about 160,000. Okay, in the rematch, they're talking about 130,000. Okay, and you look, these are pictures from Fight Night, and look, I mean, this is right before the main event, and I mean, this place is empty. This guy here, I am in the arena, and the place is half empty. Okay, now, this is what I guess these hypocrites on YouTube, right? They talk about how Andre Ward is such a big star, and Golovkin, his numbers are laughable and whatnot. But if okay, let's go back and look. Gennady Golovkin Jacobs, 170,000 buys. Okay, let's see, Gennady Golovkin Lemieux, 150,000. Okay, so right there, that he's already got Andre Ward beat. Okay, and we're talking about Mandalay Bay. I mean, you're looking at Mandalay Bay right here, half empty. This is 12,000 people will fill Mandalay Bay. Okay, now Gennady Golovkin Jacobs, Gennady Golovkin Lemieux, they sold out Madison Square Garden in both fights, okay? And the Garden will hold like 21,000 people, over double what Mandalay Bay holds, and they sold that bitch out. I mean, floor to ceiling, sold out. I even heard Rock Nation was basically giving tickets away outside, giving them to fans, ticket scalpers, you know, 20 bucks, 30 bucks, because nobody was in the arena. It was empty, okay? So, you know, but what does that tell you? I mean, honestly, if you're an Andre Ward fan, what does that tell you? This is like the biggest fight of his career. This is bigger than, you know, back in the 6. This is bigger than all that shit, okay? Bigger than Froch, bigger than, you know, Edwin Rodriguez, whoever, you know, definitely a Paul Smith, and Alexander Brand, a Sullivan Barrera. You know, the original Kovalev fight and the rematch is the biggest fight of his career, and he can't even put 12,000 people in the arena. I mean, he can't get 12,000 people in there, but then a Gennady Golovkin can cram 21,000 people in Madison Square Garden twice. And then in the Kell Brook fight, I mean, shit, I forget how many people there were. What, 80, 90,000 people, 80, 60, something like that? I forget. And it was the highest viewed fight on HBO of the year, okay? So you look at these numbers, and they start to tell a story. They start to tell a little bit of a tell, okay? And what story did the numbers tell you? The numbers tell you that he's not the people's champion, and there's a reason. It's not me. It's not some biased guy on YouTube that, well, what you call biased, I call truthful. I mean, these are simple facts, and this is just simple basic knowledge, okay? I mean, in the biggest fight of his career, this is it right here? That? I mean, come on. You know, so again, and look, even if it was Gennady Golovkin, I would be telling you the same shit. I'd be like, you know, why are people freaking out about this dude? Why is he so hyped up and he can't even fill up a 12,000 seat arena in the biggest fight of his career? Okay, so, you know, but let's move on. Okay, like I said, Bob Arum possibly jumping ship or I'm sorry, not Bob Arum, but Kovalev possibly jumping ship, joining Bob Arum. Okay, now, could you imagine, just imagine, like, to me, every time I think about it, it blows my mind away. HBO, they no longer have Terrence Crawford, okay? They no longer have Kovalev. They no longer have Manny Pacquiao, right? Like, what are they going to do? I mean, that's, you know, they've basically lived off Manny Pacquiao for the past decade. I mean, they're still counting money from the Mayweather Pacquiao fight. Like, what the hell are they going to do? You know, and I realize we have Gennady Golovkin, Canelo coming up, and they probably know that, and that's going to, you know, they're going to make money on that. But after that cash train is over, what the hell are they going to do? Now, Bob Arum, he's talking about creating his own network, and I like this, man. I love this. Okay, he's talking about, you know, like a WWE or a, you know, like an ESPN or like a Fox type thing. You know, he wants to make his own network and you know, feature his guys on there. And how great would that be? You know, how it would be incredible, it'd be awesome. You know, so I hope he does. I really do, because right now HBO. Look, here's the problem. Even Bob Arum said it. You know, when he was negotiating the Lomachenko and the Salido rematch, you know, he was basically, and he was cussing. He's like, I'm fucking tired of HBO trying to be a matchmaker. You know, they are a fucking network. That's exactly what he said. They're a fucking network. You know, and it just shows you how big-headed HBO. How just their just egos are huge, right? They think they can tell these promoters, like, you know, I want this fight and this fight, and here's how much money we're going to give you, and you know, it doesn't work that way. Okay, so I like that Bob Arum, you know, being the you know, the gangster that he is, you know, the OG promoter, he just said, fuck you. You know, think about this. Think about the Pacquiao-Algieri fight. You know, he took it to Macau, China, right? Now he's taking Pacquiao to Australia. And the Australian government actually chipped in, from what I've heard. They chipped in, you know, to support that fight. So look, these other countries are willing to work with Bob Arum, okay? And that should tell you something. That should definitely tell you something. And another, you know, side note I'd like to add, Golden Boy Promotion, they currently work with ESPN as well. But, you know, these are their prospects, their upcomers, okay? Bob Arum, you know, he's talking about putting elite world-class fights on ESPN. Now, like I said, is it going to be pay-per-view? I don't know. Now, I know the Pacquiao fight isn't in Australia, and that'll be the first time in 12 years Pacquiao's had a non-pay-per-view fight. So a round of fucking applause for that shit, because it's about damn time. You know, so... But, you know, look, Pacquiao, like, in that fight, getting 20 million. Okay, getting 20 million. That's why the Australian government stepped in and helped pay for it, because, you know, it's good for them. You know, it's good for their you know, their economy to have a big fight like that. So, you know, and Crawford, damn, I didn't even mention Crawford. You know, right now, you know, Bob Arum was talking about a Crawford-Julius Ndongo fight on ESPN. Okay, I mean, like I said, to me, that's crazy. You know, you got a Salido, or, I mean, could you imagine a Salido-Loma fight on ESPN? Okay, a Crawford-Julius Ndongo fight on ESPN. You know, a Pacquiao-Crawford on ESPN. You know, so I think, you know, this is, things are changing right now. HBO is a sinking ship. Right now, Showtime, I mentioned before, I think they've already had like 17 title fights and, I don't know, 3 or 4 unification fights, and all televised non-pay-per-view. Okay, everything on Showtime thus far, you know, you got the Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman fight, non-pay-per-view. Okay, now you got the Adrian Broner, Mikey Garcia fight, which will do good numbers, non-pay-per-view. Okay, I mean, and that's the way to go. Even Keith Thurman, you know, he's like, look, when I was a kid, I couldn't afford pay-per-view. It's ridiculous. Like, these promoters are ripping everybody off, you know, so I like that. So, getting back to Andre Ward, though, this is what I'm trying to explain to you people. You got this guy in the biggest fight of his career, can't put 12,000 people in the arena. You know, they got to give away tickets. You know, and I mean, where does he go from here? I mean, shit. I mean, could you imagine Andre Ward against like a no name? Well, we've already seen it in like like the fucking Alexander Brand fight. You know, they were talking about how there was less than like 4,000 people in the arena, and then he had like a meet and greet before that, and like 9 or 10 people showed up. I mean, there's a reason, okay? This tells a story. All this information I'm giving you, all these numbers I'm giving you, it tells a story. And the story that tells is, you know, people don't like him, okay? People don't believe in him. They don't believe that he is what he, you know, portrays himself to be, okay? He's a fraud. You know, is he a great boxer? Yeah, of course he is. You know, but I think he's out of his prime, and I think this whole thing is just like this illusion. HBO wants to like pump him up to be this huge, you know, pound for pound #1 greatest fighter on HBO, pay $70. You know, 8, 9, 10 times, so we can make another 100 million. I mean, do you see where I'm going? Okay, I mean, you people need to wake up out there. There's a lot of politics involved. Okay, and this is why, as a boxing fan, I like a Gennady Golovkin, because he's never ducked anyone, okay? In fact, he's constantly getting ducked. You know, he'll fight anyone you put in front of him. You know, he's the people's champion, just like a Manny Pacquiao. And the people, we are the people that support boxing. So, you know, so look, I like what Bob Arum is doing, and he's not a saint by any means. By the way, this is Andre Ward giving Tony Weeks a little fist bump right before the fight. I didn't like that at all. You know, a little, hey, what's going on? Bump, bump. Yeah, I got you. I got you. You know, that's what that is right there. That's right here. I got you. I mean, look, that's not professional, okay? It shouldn't even be allowed, right? I don't think I've ever, I mean, you know, I've seen a couple of, like, upcomers do that, but they don't know any better. But at this level, and you can see Tony Weeks, if you go back and watch it, he was really uncomfortable. He didn't like that at all, because he knows what people are going to, you know, what people are, it's going to look exactly what it looks like. It looks like, you know, they're colluding with each other. Like, you know, they got some buddy shit going on there. So, you know, I didn't like seeing that. But, you know, I'm not going to get into that. I want to talk about Kovalev. And let me end it here. Okay, Kovalev, Kathy Duva, originally she said that, look, we're going to go to Atlanta. And, you know, they're just a small little promotional company out of New Jersey. You know, she's like, we're going to go to the East Coast. We're going to try to rebuild Kovalev, maybe a Sullivan Barrera, hopefully an Adonis Stevenson, that kind of thing. A good comeback fight at Joe Smith. You know, we want to show that Kovalev is not finished, and it was a robbery, and it was, a premature stop. This is what they're trying to do, and they want to team up with a casino in, like, you know, like I said, like in Atlanta. What is it, Atlanta or Atlantic City, wherever the hell is over there on the East Coast. She threw out a bunch of different possibilities, but they want to get away. They basically want to get away from the West Coast, Vegas, all that shit, and just go to the other side of the country and rebuild him. But rumor is he's not going to go for that. Kovalev is going to join Bob Arum in Top Rank. But again, that's rumor. If I get any kind of a confirmation on it, you know, I'll definitely pass it on to you guys. But in my opinion, I think it'd be a good move for Kovalev to join Top Rank because, you know, I mean, look, here's the thing, and let me end it here. You know, Kovalev, look, and you can figure out what he made, okay? He got 75% of the pay-per-view revenue, but you got to remember, that's after the network, they get their cut, and after each promoter, they got to break it up also, okay? They got to break it up as well, right? So you could say out of 100, where are we at now in the rematch? 130, yeah, 130,000. You know, just break that in half and times it by, you know, he's getting 75 cents on the dollar, but that's not of a $70 pay-per-view. Main event probably gets about $30 to $33 per buy, okay? So in other words, take 160,000, divide by 2, and then times it by, you know, the 75%, yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. And that'll tell you basically what he made. And in my mind, it's going to come out to about $1.5 million, maybe $2 million with sponsors if he's lucky. If he's lucky, he'll hit $2 million. And we know Andre Ward walked away with, what, 6.5 or some shit like that. So, you know, maybe it is time. Maybe it is time that he got a new promoter. You know, because, you know, and look, and like I mentioned, a lot of guys work on commission, and that's what he did. But what I don't like about Main Event is they didn't give him the option of a flat fee. They didn't say, okay, Cove, look, we can give you 75% of what we bring in, or, you know, we can just guarantee you like 2.2, 2.3 million or 1.8 million, whatever it may be, you know, but that option was not available. And a lot of people will tell you, well, it wasn't available because, you know, they didn't, Andre Ward and Rock Nation, they didn't stick to the original agreement, to the original contract. They had to renegotiate, put out a bunch of money, that kind of thing. And that's why, you know, they had to basically set up his pay that way. But, you know, I don't know. I wasn't there. This is just what I've been told and what I believe to be true. But yeah, look, I'm gonna leave it at that. And like I said, if I get any confirmation, I will pass it on to you guys. So you know, like, share. I don't care if you sub. If you want to, cool. If you don't, too cool. And I'll be back with another one.